listening to the Positive Professional Podcast with your host, me, Tracy Yvonne. This podcast is a weekly conversation about all things mental health, self-care, and wellness. And there'll be sprinkles of positivity, mindfulness, and guided meditations. Welcome back to Season 4, Episode 18. Today I'm going to be talking about enjoying the journey of life and 9 reasons why it's so hard and what to do about it. So how are you living in the moment? If you're like most people, stepping back from the goal long enough to enjoy the journey can be challenging. After all, there are things that you want to achieve. So why waste your time worrying about the journey? Enjoying the journey is more important than you might think. When you embrace the now and enjoy the process you're in, you see all the opportunities, the learning experiences, and the best of what makes up life. The journey is what allows us to be calm and collected, even when times are rough. The journey is also where you find the most happiness, if you can only let it happen. So with so much going on for the journey, why is it so hard to just let go and be? Well, the first reason could be that you may feel inadequate. If your journey feels too much like you've never had the right tools, the right answers, or the right skills for anything, instead of blaming the journey, it might be time to reassess how you're making the journey in the first place. Think of this not as a curse, but as an excuse to develop mastery. Make being a student part of your journey, whether formal or informal, and learn everything. Take classes, read books, or get a mentor. Do whatever it takes to give yourself the skill set to bring your journey to the next level. The next reason may be that you feel lost. If your journey seems aimless, it might be because you're not clear on your goals. Remember, though being process-oriented means that you're not going to be hyperfixated on your goals. Instead, you want to find ways to revisit them daily. Make these reminders of what you're fighting for part of your daily journey by making these goals more visible. So what about creating a vision board or putting up a physical reminder of your goal, which you can look at every day? Or maybe you'll want to journal as a way to process your day and mark your progress towards those goals. If your journey is nothing but the same routine day in, day out, you might be feeling burned out and dismal about your daily life. If your life has gone stagnant, it's time to liven it up. Journeys should include adventures. So what's something you can do today which you've never done before? Incorporate spontaneity into your daily journey in small ways. Order something different for lunch, or maybe drive a new way to work, or call an old friend that you haven't talked to for a while. Take a walk, choosing a new path. The key here is to make things fresh and interesting. And when you embrace the journey, this doesn't mean that you aren't paying some attention to where you're headed. The problem comes when you do not like the destination. It could be your original goals no longer serve their purpose, and that you've changed as an individual, or your old life no longer fits. There's nothing wrong with stopping and giving yourself a solid assessment of who you are and what you want to be doing when this happens. And sure, you might also want to adjust your goals, but the journey there is what's important. It might be time to nudge yourself towards another path and building for a new and better outcome. And I'm going to share more in the next segment. talk about when you don't think you're making progress. If you're feeling stalled out, you might want to stop and do a self assessment. It is possible you're not seeing the progress you're making. Look at where you're at in your life at this time last week, last month, or even last year. And how have you changed in this time? What's different now, which wasn't a thing in the past? If it does turn out that you haven't been growing much in this time, ask yourself the hard questions. What type of person do you want to be? What traits does this person have? And think about adding some new habits to push yourself in the desired direction. The key here is to start small. Change never happens overnight, but it does happen if you're consistent about what you're doing. And if this is the case, where you feel that you've gotten sidelined on your journey, you need to be gentle with yourself. Give yourself the time off and accept that sometimes you're going to have to live from moment to moment for a bit. After all, this is part of the journey, even if it won't always be the case. The time will come when the crisis point passes and life will resume. Of course, your journey probably won't look like the journey you were on before the crisis, but this doesn't have to be a bad thing. Consider this an opportunity to build a better journey using what you've learned during the hard times. And there are times where you have to come to the realization that you no longer can make the goal. It happens. Sometimes the goal that you set in your life no longer serves you or becomes impractical. Believe it or not, it's okay to abandon your goal completely if this is the case. At the same time, a journey can feel especially hard if you have no goal at all. And why make the journey at all if there's no destination? If you're feeling this way, remember embracing the journey makes the goal irrelevant. When you're enjoying where you are right now in this moment. You don't always need a goal to have a happy, productive, and fruitful life. You really can just be enjoying each new day as it comes. If this scares you, ask yourself why. The answer might surprise you. If you're truly disturbed by the lack of a goal, set something easy. For example, the goal of, I want to be happier than I am right now. This is legitimate and it gives you a lot of leeway for your journey as to how you want it to unfold. And if you think focusing on the goal is a solitary exercise, you're wrong. Just because a journey is a personal thing, there's no reason that it can't involve other people. On the contrary, your journey is all about how you live your life. So think of it this way. Other people have journeys too, but there comes a time when their journey will intersect with yours. Sometimes those intersection points are small, such as chance encounters or short contacts with others. And at other times, those journeys might intersect for months or even years. So yes, talk to people. Tell them what you want to focus on your journey and invite them to come along with you for the ride. And then be open to all the ways you might enjoy being part of their journey in return. Also, keep in mind, focusing on your journey can be an opportunity to add new people into your life. When you add in adventure or learning to enhance your journey, you'll naturally be encountering individuals who will become part of those activities, either through chance or being intentional by inviting them along. If you want, your journey can be filled with people who make your journey more fulfilling and a whole lot more interesting. But sometimes our journeys can feel depressing or lonely. We look at our lives and don't see much to embrace, if anything. And maybe your life hasn't been going in a good direction lately, or maybe you're just not seeing the good in what you're doing. If this is the case, first realize this is normal. We all go through bad spots from time to time. And the more important thing is to accept that things aren't great and commit to making them better. You start by looking for the good things you've already got going on. Although it might be hard, try beginning in gratitude. What can you be thankful for right now? Who are the people who have been making a positive impact in your life? And while gratitude can seem hard, it does help to shift your mindset over to seeing the positive. And if you really can't see it, try reaching out to those around you. Ask a trusted friend or a mentor for help, seeing the good in your life and your journey. Or if you're struggling with your journey, consider talking to a mental health professional. These are the people trained in guiding people back into life journey, which leads to contentment and satisfaction. So hopefully after listening to this episode, you may start to see how embracing the journey isn't as hard as you think. There are so many facets to your life and so much to enjoy. It's all a matter of perspective and living with intentionality as you explore those aspects. So today really can be a good day after all. Thanks for listening and supporting this podcast. And make sure you're clicking the like and subscribe button. You can also follow me on Twitter and Instagram. Stay safe, be well, and don't forget to be the best version of you.